Mission brief. Overview. Retrieve the kidnapped individual. Subject: Ashley Graham, age 20. Daughter of U.S. President. University student. See photo for physical appearance. Background. Contact was suddenly lost with the subject as she had made her way home from campus. Soon after, she along with her ex-military bodyguards were reported missing. Upon further investigation, it was determined that she was kidnapped by an organized group and a team was convened. Our intelligence department has confirmed several sightings of the subject in a remote village located in a mountainous region of Europe. One agent was specifically chosen for the task. Additional info. We have confirmed that the perpetrators received help from an insider. To prevent leaks, this operation will be kept strictly confidential. Local law enforcement has been brought on board and are providing assistance. Iluminados 4-3. In great veneration of their master, the people offered up their most prized possessions. The old farmer, his finest crop, the slight swineherd, his stoutest pig, the beggarly grandam, her own beloved babe. The master saw these gifts and was pleased. Iluminados 4-9. Sleep well and flourish, dear child. As your body grows, your mother shall sew new small cloths. At 7 quintal of wheat and half a bull a day, you have outgrown your pen. Flourish, dear child, for the sake of your brothers and sisters who cannot. Luis Serra report. Name Luis Serra Navarro, age 28, gender male. Serra name first appears publicly in a university student registry. No prior record has been discovered, including his birth certificates. After graduating from university, he was employed by Umbrella's research division, where he became a rising star who won favor among his peers. He was involved in the development of several common over-the-counter drugs, all of which were discontinued before ever reaching the market. See the attached list for details. A few years later, Serra resigned from Umbrella and could not be located. After the Raccoon City incident, efforts were made by law enforcement and the government to track down anyone with links to Umbrella, but despite conducting an extensive search, they were unable to find him. Considering how well he evaded them, we are almost certain Serra went to great lengths to disappear. In Hunnigan's handwriting, common over-the-counter drugs? Do you seriously think that Umbrella would ever let one of their best work on some anticide or beauty cream? Lakeside Map. A pest fro he outsid has for the Earl. Lock her in the church and 8 orders from our Lord. Until then keep the church door shut. The key I'll be held in the cave of their side the lake. The monster will deal with the fool with a intruder. Rearing log. 6 months. Its teeth have only just come through, but it shoves everything within reach into its mouth. It can't walk yet, but it swallowed a dog whole. 9 months. It already towers over me, but it keeps growing. The town hall can no longer contain it. 10 months. It keeps growing even after moving to the quarry. It can devour a whole cow in only 3 days. 13 months. It can swing our largest pickaxe as if it were a twig. One of the men in the village was almost eaten today, too. It's not getting enough food. 17 months. There are only a few cows left now. At this rate, the whole village will starve. We summoned help from the castle and had them put the beast to sleep with an incantation. Hopefully, it won't wake for a long time. Old Man's Journal. 3 years ago, my beloved daughter passed away shortly after giving birth to a son. Since then, the boy has grown considerably. He is a very curious child and has true thirst for knowledge. He even tries to follow after me when I go out hunting. I can't take my eyes off him for a second. Whenever we walk in the forest, he always asks me to tell stories. He's very fond of Don Quizok. Although he's still small, the boy's smart and observant beyond his years. If he weren't stuck here, he might have become a scholar. I was a careless fool. I could have sworn I shot clean through the wolf's head, yet it lunged at me. I was able to make it back to the cabin, but my wound is swollen and discolored. I cannot bear seeing the boy's worried eyes. My body moves on its own, and I can hear voices inside my head. Am I going mad? I can't die now and leave the boy behind. Dear God, please protect him. Village Records Volume 1. The elder entrusted the village to me today. He told me I can learn my duties as I go. I will start by keeping a record of the village. There are still many words I cannot write, but the elder encourages me. I will do my best. There is a young boy who lives in the cabin by the lake with his grandfather. It seems that his mother was called to heaven upon his birth. His grandfather doesn't talk much, but the lad is very bright and spirited. He told me a story about a knight who rides a donkey again today. The boy's grandfather has fallen ill and his condition worsens every day. The boy worries terribly about him, and there are murmurs of a madness among the villagers. As I took my leave, the old man pulled me aside and said, "If anything happens, you know what to do." I could only nod in response. It was a terrible night. Everyone stood around the cabin and watched as it burned to the ground. The boy looked on without saying a word. Even as dawn broke, he didn't move a muscle. The next day, he was gone. Village Records Volume 2. All the men cheered when they heard the boat as it raced across the surface of the water. The magnificent oil will surely help us catch fish easier than ever before. The ironworks were only built a year ago and has already managed well with the village. Our sickles and knives shine like never before. The 2 fish we got from the deal will eat almost anything and are breeding well. The fish farm in the swamp is also making excellent progress. During the day I teach literacy and mathematics to the children. Every evening I dine with a single family to hear about their grievances and recent gossip, all under the roof of this home we built. Since I opened the village up to the outside, we have prospered and people are happier. Smiles have even started to appear on their faces. A strange group of black-robed people descended upon the village from the castle and raised an ominous flag with a spider-like insignia upon it. After preaching about salvation and forgiveness, they injected us with something they claim will cure us of madness. Can they be trusted? Village Records Volume 3. Date October 10th. The weather has been strange of late. The wheat withers and cows grow thin. Date December 8th. There are signs of famine. It is true, we lack the means to work the fields, but Lord Sadler's orders are absolute. Date January 30th. 30 people have starved to death. 5 cows will be slaughtered. Date March 11th. The patriots gather to cast lots. 6 more chosen for Lord Sadler. Date April. 8 more today. Date unknown. 4 more today. Date unknown. 11 more today. Date unknown. 2 outsiders got lost and wandered into the village. We took them to the altar for the ritual. No need to cast lots today. Tighten the defenses. This is a direct order from Lord Sadler himself. Convert the area beyond this point into defensive position so no intruders may pass. I am willing to make any and all sacrifices for the sake of the righteous faith. My devout believers, build me an impregnable fortress and make sure any heathen foolish enough to trespass pays for their wicked sins in blood. Quarterly Findings. Excerpt. Summary. Effects and uses of specific drugs on the Plaga during the early stages of growth. Place. Facility 1, Meeting Room S. Presenter. Head Researcher Annabella Garcia Escudero. Questionnaire. Researcher Ryan Chen. And that's all for today's report. Any questions? So basically, this suppressant can prevent the host from turning into a monster. Laughter. Monster is a bit dramatic, but yes, you could say the host loses a part of their humanity when infected with the parasites. Initial symptoms include mild abdominal pain and hemoptysis, followed by dizziness and even loss of consciousness. Once fully developed, the parasite gains complete control. In other words, the host becomes a puppet. The suppressants that we've developed can inhibit the growth of this parasite. So we can only delay the inevitable, right? Like having one more beer before going home. Laughter from multiple people. Well, yes, when you put it that way, but sooner or later the bar closes. The suppressant can't completely remove Las Plagas from the host. Caretaker's notes. I was awoken in the middle of the night once again. It's those awful noises coming from the basement. The sounds of nails clawing at the stone walls and the withering moan of curses. That man harbors enough hate to ruin this world. He once served the lord of the castle as the torturer, like his father and grandfather before him. It's one of the more unsightly legacies left by the Salazar family. Even among his family, he was special. He enjoyed his work wholeheartedly and had a talent for it. He was gifted at tormenting others. His ability soon attracted the master's interest, and when they took him to the dungeon, "No, I can't write anymore. I won't. I don't want to recall what happened down there. My mind can't take it. It will break me." I was ordered to attend to him, to feed him, dispose of the filth, all while listening to that wretched voice every night. I can't take it anymore. I've had enough. I will not tolerate one more night in this castle. I shall leave tomorrow, go far away where the voice cannot reach my ears. Parasites in their Ecology, Volume 2. There are some parasites that have the ability to control their hosts. This is basic knowledge among most biologists, but not much is known as to how the parasites do it. The following is a list of several such parasites. Dicrocolium. Once the larvae of this parasite migrate to the ant's esophagus, they alter the behavior of the ant. When the temperature drops in the evening, during peak grazing hours, the infected ant climbs to the top of the plant and clamps onto a leaf using its mandible with the intention of being eaten. Galactosum. The larvae of this parasite makes their home inside the brain of a fish, such as the yellowtail and the parrot bass. Once infected, the fish makes its way up to the water surface, where it will swim until eaten by seabirds. Licochloridium. This parasite's sporocysts develop in the snail's eye stalks, where they pulsate like worms. They alter the snail's behavior and force it to move to the top of a plant and make it more visible to birds. Once eaten by a bird, the parasite will complete its metamorphosis into an adult. Cosign, the Crimson Flame. The voice of pestilence dwells in the flames, leading the pitiful souls to salvation. Cosign the Crimson Flame to its rightful place, for you shall be enlightened in the path revealed. Iluminados 3:2. Hear the signal echo through the mountains. Rocks become gravel and the castle walls crumble. Behold the crimson shade of the night sky. A river of tainted blood befouls the sea. Sacrifice your life and the blood of your enemy. Atone for your ancient sins. Way to the Hidden Mausoleum. The resting forebears answer to the chosen time. It is the Lord's blessing you seek. Have courage and fear no darkness. Librarian's notes. The insignia. The key to getting out of this confounded place in the Salazar family insignia. To find it, I must venture to where the cursed armor awaits, the underground mausoleum. O merciful Lord, enact your righteous justice upon the wicked usurper, the maniacal monster Ramon Salazar, and may your blessed blue light protect your forever faithful servant. Salazar Family Chronology. The Salazar family line has come to an end. In order to cure Ramon's sickness, his mother, Catalina, invited the devil into their home. Inscribed is a brief history of the members that solidified their prestigious bloodline. First General Count Gregorio the Conqueror. Gregorio led his men to eradicate the evil that befell the castle. Recognized for his bravery, he was awarded the title of Count and entrusted to keep the demons sealed for generations to come. Second General Count Hippolito, the sealer, with great efforts Hippolyto sealed away the plague of demons that emerged from the depths of the earth. He succumbed to his wounds sustained in a battle. Third, General Count Gregorio, the architect driven by irrational paranoia. Gregorio squandered his vast fortune on excessive castle defensive and strange elaborate contraptions. Fourth, General Count Jose Alonso, the tranquil Alonso, endeavored to restore the family's honor. Fifth, General Count Alexandro, the lavish, playful at heart. Alexandro had a courtyard and ballroom erected before his untimely death. Sixth, General Countess Maria Isabel, the Lady Alexandro's widow. Countess Isabel had a long reign before her death at age 90. Seventh, General Count Diego, the severe similar to his predecessor. Diego was exceedingly strict. He was murdered at the hands of a devil. Eighth, General Count Ramon. His illness should have taken him. Chronicles of Pursuit 1. July, 2 years since my awakening. Master Ramon has bestowed upon me a truly righteous undertaking to improve upon the flaws of our human form, to seek perfection as observed in our arthropodal siblings. To this cause I shall willingly devote my life. January, 4 years since my awakening. My efforts to transfuse the black liquid into the body are at a precipice of success. The womb is the key. A pure soul proves to be highly malleable and an adaptive subject. January, 6 years since my awakening. I have named these sacred larvae carried in the wombs of the chosen, you too, after my own. They shall carry the prestige of my family name as if I had spawned them of my own flesh. The U2 are now close to the size of adult humans, and they continue to feed and multiply. I have successfully created a new species. Master Ramon has recognized my efforts and blessed me with his praise. He has taken to U2, calling them Novistadar, meaning the unseen. I've been told that His Holiness Lord Sadler himself has expressed pleasure with my work. What an extraordinary honor that is. I can hardly see the tip of my quill through the tears of joy. His humble servant, Isadro Ureti Talavera. Chronicles of Pursuit 2. October, 8 years since my awakening. At last, my noble pursuit progresses to its final stage, the fusion of human and insect. The housekeeper has graciously volunteered herself for the experiment. I shall pour my whole heart into this endeavor in order to transcend humanity and make Master Ramon proud. March, 9 years since my awakening. A glorious union has been made. The housekeeper has endured much suffering, but not for naught. Behold the fruits of our labor in all its beauty. I shall consecrate the perfect life form with the name U3, for 3 is the most beautiful and complete number. April, 9 years since my awakening. U3, my dear hound, Pisanta, has been chosen to serve as the right hand of Master Ramon. But it is 2 not better than 1? Now it's my turn to demonstrate my loyalty. His humble servant, Isadro Ureti Talavera. Chronicles of Pursuit 3. May, 9 years since my awakening. Upon the release of this valve, black liquid shall enter my veins and circulate through my entire body. I expect this to be the most painful experience of my life. I await the trial with great anticipation. It is an honor to suffer through the holy labor of rebirth. The next time I awaken, I will be as a true servant of Master Ramon. I, Isadro Ureti Talavera, make this vow. I will surpass the limitations of man and become a true servant of God. I will find the heretics and serve as their executioner. Their vertigo. Prisoner's notes. Another one dead. How long has it been since I was thrown down here? The meager scraps of food provided in the beginning are gone, and they don't give us any more. The pains of hunger and thirst are unbearable. Most have resorted to drinking the black water. The first to turn was Harmenio. He was so weak that he couldn't even walk, but then suddenly became mad. By the time his rampage ended, 2 were dead. I think we shouldn't drink that dark liquid. Dear Abelardo has also passed, though he fought until the very end. The only thing I could do now is honor the bodies and pray that their souls find peace. O Lord, why do you test us so? Notice about power supply. Out of service appliances. To conserve electricity, the power has been turned off for some equipment, including the elevator. It can be restored by flipping the circuit breaker located at the very back of the laboratory. Emergency liquid nitrogen showers. Requested by Isidro Uriarte Talavera. Date of installation November 2nd, 2002. Installation of the liquid nitrogen showers that were requested last month has been completed. Caution: liquid nitrogen is an extremely hazardous substance. Exposure may cause blindness, frostbite, and even death. Handle with care. Foreman's log. Date October 11th. Today was the worst day of my life. It is my daughter's 5th birthday, but here I am stuck on a mangy boat heading out to some backcountry dump. If it weren't for the pay, no one would be willing to work out in the middle of nowhere. Date October 19th. Those in the castle are always reminding us to take care during the excavation, but a few workers collapsed after inhaling some dust. There's something going on here that they're not telling us. There are too many secrets. I've started coughing too. I should sleep. Date October 26th. Something's really wrong with me. I threw up blood 3 more times today and I'm so weak I can barely move. Shit, I never should have come here. I came for the money, but instead I am the one paying the price. I'm a terrible father. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. You deserve better. Date October. Since morning, head don't work. Why? More blood threw up. Many insects crawling. I hear a voice. Date unknown. A fine day to work. Digging brings me so much joy. I am full of happiness. I offer it all to you. Everything for you, Lord Sadler. Ramon's confession. My lord, my true benevolent father, bless the Salazar bloodline with an iron hammer. The founder of my family proclaimed the holy teachings of Los Iluminados, evil, and persecuted its followers. Not only that, he stole their most prized possession and sealed it below the castle. Blasphemy, insolence! How long have I suffered the shame of knowing that the same blood flows through my veins? Finally, the day of atonement has come. O my beloved Lord Sadler, I shall release the holy Plagas that were hidden under the castle. The time is now. With divine grace, the wicked shall be reborn as part of the flock, reborn as ganado. They shall be the Lord's loyal servants. Nothing would please me more than to sit at my Lord's feet and bask in your splendor. I am your humble servant. You are my eternal light. To you I swear my unwavering allegiance. Housekeeper's Memo 1. I have failed you, my lord. I was unable to fulfill your final commandment and keep the boy from the path of wickedness. I caught a glimpse of Master Ramon's evil temperament during his younger years. When he discovered a servant mocked him by uttering Pulgarcito, behind his back he summoned her to her private chambers. After forcing her to kneel before him, Ramon doused her face with a vial of vitriol he pulled out of his pocket. The young master watched with glee when the servant writhed in agony as the skin melted from her face. His twisted grin still haunts my dreams to this very day. As time passed, Ramon's treachery only deepened, and the infernal cult soon learned they could prey upon his vulnerable heart. Curse the fiends. They've manipulated Master Ramon and turned him into their puppet. Worst of all, they've managed to use him to unleash Las Plagas that the Salazar family has fought so long and hard to keep sealed away. Lord Diego, rest assured I intend to watch over Master Ramon until the very end, whatever fate may befall us. As a faithful servant of the Salazar family since birth, it is my duty and my penance to you. Housekeeper's Memo 2. O Master Ramon, With tomorrow's procedure, I shall finally surpass the limitations of this mortal shell. What's left of me now shall soon be gone. Magnificent, the holy body is a wondrous miracle. The fealty I sworn to Master Ramon is the sole light that illuminates my path. Our fates shall be entwined until the very end. Have you ever known such loyalty? Eroded Cave Epitaph. Expelled by the militant wicked, we find ourselves in exile. Withered is the grass, barren are the trees. We wait in expiation. This isolated island our purgatory. Yet despair not, brothers and sisters, our time shall come. Hester Sadler. Laboratory notice. Attending pathologist Ernesto Munez Reyes. Your keycard application has been approved by the head of the department. Please bring your level 1 keycard to dissection and follow the procedure on the next page. Overwrite card for level 2 clearance using the machine located in freezer. Overwrite card for level 3 clearance using the machine located in incubation lab. Please ask each section supervisor for permission to access the machines. Facility 1 Administration Department. Subject analysis. Regenerador. Date April 9th. At last I have created new life. I call it Regenerador. Its metabolic capacity is incredible. Unless all the parasites residing within the organism are destroyed, its tissue can regenerate indefinitely. Date April 10th. Upon examining the body with a biosensor scope, I was able to confirm that the parasites behave like vital organs for the host, almost as though it has multiple hearts. This new creation of mine is essentially immortal. Surely even Dr. Frankenstein himself would want to shake my hand in admiration. Date April 13th. I have shared the news of my achievement with that pretentious bastard colleague of mine. His face went white. Then he started scribbling something in his notebook. I thought he'd be impressed, but instead he actually had the nerve to warn me of so-called dangers. He's a fool. I have everything under control. Date unknown. The subject went wild and escaped from its cryogenic tank. I was the real fool. Case 2002-F. Escaped test subject. During a recent power outage, a test subject awoke from its cryogenic status, broke out of its holding tank, and escaped. The subject was contained after 20 hours, leaving 7 dead and 19 wounded. We were unable to recover one of the bodies and a tool from inside of it. The cause of this unfortunate incident is the unstable power supply. The outdated generators cannot keep up with our demanding schedule. Management must prioritize the needs of the engineers over those of the researchers to prevent something like this from ever happening again. Copy of Irradiation Report. The results of Bleep Physical's examination showed that his body has become invested with a plaga, likely during one of his experiments with it. Under the supervision of the lead researcher Luis Serra, an attempt was made to purge the parasite using a form of experimental radiation therapy. 60 minutes into the procedure, Bloop showed signs of severe shock and we were forced to stop. Soon after, he was pronounced dead. The device uses external beam radiation to burn the parasite from outside the body, similar to a linear accelerator used in treating cancer. The pain is tremendous and it could prove fatal. The post-mortem autopsy has confirmed that the parasite was successfully destroyed. However, in lieu of these results, we have determined that the device requires further work and should not progress beyond the stage of trial operation. Attached is a irradiation device manual for reference. Captive researchers note. We were imprisoned without warning. One by one we were taken to the next room. I do not know what happens there. They just took Annabelle. I am probably next. I've got to think. Need to get my head straight. All who were infected with the plaga will be at the mercy of Lord Sadler. If he commands it, they will work themselves to death with a smile on their face. Adversely, the hosts become so simple-minded that they're basically useless for any complex tasks. However, we succeeded in developing the new, superior species of plaga. It has no special variability, but the host's cognitive functions are not diminished. It seems like they plan to administer this new species to the girl. It's clearly important that she maintains her intelligence after infection. All tests were successful and plans for mass production are moving forward. The project is a complete success, but I've been imprisoned, and preparations to inject me with the superior species are underway in the next room. Annabelle is not herself anymore. The smile has been wiped completely from her face. Writing is the only thing that keeps me sane now, not that anyone will ever read this. Transporting the amber. I must stress the use of extreme caution when handling the amber deposits from underneath the castle. Work with the utmost respect and obedience. It is imperative that you do not disturb the holy body's slumber. Superior species report. Dearest Lord Sadler, I am overjoyed to report wonderful news. Production of the superior species of Las Plagas is officially underway. If all goes accordingly, rest assured that we will reach our ultimate goal. The Plaga is a truly magnificent organism. It has the capacity to live in any vertebrate, be it human, dog, or even cow. There is no other parasite like it on Earth. The superior species is particularly impressive, as it can assimilate with the host without causing any damage to the brain. No one can oppose the strength of your dominance, my lord. On the contrary, who would resist once they experience the utter joy that accompanies the absence of free will? I am living proof how ignorant I once was. In a few days, I will have finished administering the Plaga to all the high-ranking researchers, and they too shall know. And when your plan is complete, the whole world shall know. Annabelle Garcia Escudero, Head Researcher. Defenses Development. Per your request, redevelopment of the island is well underway. Weapons and other defensive equipment have been set up to guard against any outside intruders. By the time we are finished, the island will be a giant fortress. These defenses won't hold up long term, but they should last until we carry out our plan. And once again, we'll be much closer to our ultimate goal of world domination. None will be able to resist our power. Jack Krauser. Redacted Case File. Operation Javier. Few people have heard the name even within the highest ranks of the U.S. government. And little wonder, too, the operation was not made public. It was conducted in secret and then buried. The reason being, it was too inhumane. It all started back in 2002 when a small unit of U.S. Special Forces were sent to infiltrate an area of South America. Their mission was to eradicate the drug cartels. The whole operation took several years to prepare for, and only the most elite soldiers were selected to participate. I don't know if the mission was a failure or not, but I do know the fate of those elite soldiers once it was over. Apparently the entire unit was wiped out except for the commanding officer, Major Boop, and not by the cartels, but by the U.S. It shouldn't have been difficult to extract the single stranded units. All it would have taken was a single helicopter, but for some reason the military didn't act. Rumors say the decision was the outcome of a power struggle among the top brass. Others say it was a directive from the former president himself. But we may never know the truth since it was all covered up. But I'm certain of one thing. The U.S. government let those people die, brave young people who dedicated their lives to protect their country. I want to expose this crime not because it's my responsibility as a reporter, but because it's my duty as a fellow American. Note 1. The document concerns Operation Javier and was written by an American journalist named Boop Boop. Note 2. This article will never be published. Boop has already been taken care of. Krauser's recording. You've done well to make it this far, rookie. I've prepared a battlefield up ahead just for us soldiers. Watered down by the blood of generations, hundreds of years, it is the perfect place to put an end to what happened 2 years ago. Ashley Graham's abduction. Phase 1. Depart from campus with target. Escort the target as usual until the start of Phase 2. There should be 3 others inside the vehicle, including Baker. Abel's units will follow behind you in a separate vehicle. Continue to drive your normal route. Phase 2. Stop the vehicle under the pretense of engine trouble. Transfer the target to Abel's vehicle. Phase 3. Abel's unit will change course, subdue and restrain the target. Place the target in a large container. Phase 4. Baker's unit will create a diversion. Henry's unit will infiltrate the investigation's database and disable their network. Phase 5. Meet at point K9 and transfer the cargo onto the ship. Cliffside Epitaph. The bones of our brethren rest in all nations. The blood of our brethren provides all food. We die only to be reborn. We live on through eternity. We remain obsolete. Keenan Sadler. Biological specimen transfer. The repairs were completed without issue. Since the facility was previously used for confinement, the work required to reinforce the airtight ceiling was minimal. And as long as we don't run into any issues with the cooling system test, we plan to bring in all of the remaining specimens from Facility 1. All specimens were successfully transferred, however we experienced a slight hiccup during transport as one had become violent. Luckily, the number of casualties was less than anticipated. Please be extra careful when dealing with them. We have received reports that they are beginning to acquire a tolerance to the low temperatures. Emails. Subject: regarding our arrangement. From Luis. I've compiled the research data that you wanted. Meet me at the designated time and place. To be clear, you're going to get the hell out of here if I bring you the goods, right? Subject: regarding the arrangement. From AW. I hope you haven't forgotten about the amber. Without it, the data is worthless. It could be a shame to let your seats go to waste. So do not make me return empty-handed. You still remember the code phrase, I assume? Subject: regarding our arrangement. From Luis. Relax, I haven't forgotten, and don't worry about the amber. I'll figure something out. Think you can pick me up a pack of smokes on the way? Any brand is fine. The amber. This sample, which I've come to call the amber, was just sitting in the storeroom collecting dust. We used to have ample specimens for experimentation in the past, so it makes sense that this one was overlooked. In fact, the only reason I brought it back to my lab was because of its peculiar shape. After a basic analysis, I've changed my mind. The amber possesses a very unique quality. Although small and in a suspended state, it contains the same organ found in the dominant species, which we've only seen in Sadler himself. When fully developed, the amber may rival or perhaps even surpass Sadler's powers. Unfortunately, the amber was confiscated by Sadler before I could make any further progress in my research. He may be on to me. I need to get my hands on that sample again and escape in order to continue my research elsewhere. It's the only way to counter Sadler. Of course, I don't think I can trust this outside group either, but I've already come this far. Hopefully I can sweet talk my way out of this one too. I'll have to, for the world's sake. Sadler's Animus. Do not be fooled into thinking that Las Plagas are merely tools for creating powerful bioweapons. Their true value lies in their ability to control. No matter how hostile the subject, a single ejection can turn anyone into a faithful servant. Who needs spies when you can turn yesterday's enemy into today's allies? Controlling just one insider can bring an entire organization, an entire country, to its knees. Mass production of the superior species has made this possible. We have empowered Sadler. It is clear what he intends to do next. Can you imagine if Sadler had that much control? 6 billion loyal servants at his sole command? There would be no opposition, no war. Maybe for the first time in human history, the world would know peace. But I know how Sadler and the others have oppressed the people of this island for generations. I know how he treats them. That's no way to live, and because of that, I won't let it happen. Methods for eradicating Las Plagas. There are 2 ways to eradicate Las Plagas: antigen injection and surgery. If the parasite has not hatched yet, it can be treated by administering antigen directly into the body. Once it is hatched, however, there's not much that can be done besides slow its growth. With surgery, the plaga can be targeted and killed using a certain wavelength of radiation. But this is not without its risks. If the parasite has attached itself to the host's nervous system, the host will experience excruciating pain, and there is no effect anesthesia for this kind of procedure. Surgical removal carries considerable risks even before the parasite has fully developed. Once fully grown, however, it is too late. Removing the parasite would kill the host. But considering what will happen to them, death may be a mercy. Provenance Monolith. Deep beneath the castle grounds I have found my faith. Oh, behold the divine vestiges left upon this world. It all begins here. Adam Sadler. Iluminados' final chapter. Praise be the holy insects. We have been promised paradise on earth. Man, woman, or child, his love does not discriminate. Beast, fish, or bird, all creatures shall be equally blessed. Praise be the holy insects. We are humble servants of God. His wisdom will overcome any mountain. His omnipotence will cross any ocean. The light of heaven dwells in all things. Let our bodies be the seed bed. Praise be the holy insects. We are a flock and the shepherd guides us. Our prayers will be sung all over the world. They will be heard by all. At last we shall exceed the stars in the sky.